Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your host, the one and only ProHenis, and today guys, I am bringing you a life story over here onto my channel. This is not something that I do very often, but I know you guys usually do tend to enjoy them. So if you guys do enjoy this life story, go ahead and smack that like button and really just help the channel grow. And I really hope you guys will enjoy this one. It's pretty funny, just kind of like just a really unfortunate story that just honestly ruined my evening and has ruined the last couple of days for me, honestly. It's been really stressful, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it nonetheless. And without further ado, let's get right into this story. So if you guys have a dog, you will most likely know that, at the end of the day before you go to bed, you take the dog out to do its business, right? You take your dog out to your front lawn, it does its business all over your lawn, then you bring it back in so it's not peeing all over the house, you know what I'm saying? You guys all understand. So I believe it was actually this past Monday or Tuesday, I took my dog out. You guys know my dog's name is Lulu. I'll put a picture of her on screen right now. You guys know my dog. So I bring her out to do her business or whatever, and I usually don't bring her out on a leash. Now the reason being is because I'll take her out, kind of late at night, sometime usually between 11 and 12, and by that point she's usually so exhausted that she won't really run after anything. And it's usually so dark too that she can't even see anything, and I can't even see anything, so she won't even really get locked onto anything that she would then want to go and chase after, because as you guys know, dogs want to chase after things, especially if they're small and they have feet and they want to go investigate. So you guys at this point may be able to guess where this story is headed. But anyways, I bring my dog out. We're out there in the front lawn and I see my dog lock onto something, and I can't see what it is, but she is like laser focused on something in the dark, and I can't really tell what it is. I don't even really see anything moving, but she is focused, and I'm doing my best to give her verbal commands, like, come on Lulu, do your business, whatever, but she is focused, man, like focused like a laser beam on whatever this is. So I'm getting a little bit nervous, right? I'm like, oh geez, I really hope she doesn't take off, because I really don't want to have to go running after her. So I give her a couple more commands, and she's like, you know what, screw you, Henry, and she just runs. She takes off, and I can't really see what she's running after, but she's gone for maybe about 30 seconds, and I keep calling her name, and eventually she comes back, but she comes back onto our lawn and starts rubbing her face around in the grass. Now, at first, you guys may think, oh, that's not that big of a deal, right? But if you're a dog owner and you use a little bit of common sense, you may be able to guess what happened. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, please no, Lord, don't make this what I think it is. And I sit there and wait for the smell to hit me, and sure enough, my dog got sprayed by a skunk. And I'm just realizing now, if I title this video incorrectly and like forget the R in sprayed, it's gonna seem like my dog got spayed, which would be a really awkward video as well. But nonetheless, just a quick little side note. So anyways, my dog is like face down in the grass, rolling around like a ball, and she won't even really stand up. She's just so uncomfortable with this smell, and she's trying to like rub it off her body, obviously, and I feel really bad for her. And I can't give her any commands at this point. She is not going to get up and walk over to me. She's not even really getting up on her own 2 feet. She's just laying there rolling around. So after she's finally done trying to rub the smell off of herself, she walks back over to me, tail in between her legs. She's so sad, and she comes up to me, and I smell it, and I'm like, oh God, like the smell is so potent, guys. It's so bad. If your dog has ever been sprayed by a skunk, it's worse than like just driving by and smelling a dead skunk. It's so much worse when it's right up in your face. So now that I've realized that she's been sprayed for certain, like there's no ambiguity here. She smells like a skunk. So there's nothing really I can do at this point, because I'm not bringing her inside the house. There is not going to be a skunky smelling dog wandering around my home. It's just not happening. So what I decided to do is put her in the garage. So she's just gonna have to sleep in the garage for a night. I know it's cold. You guys know I live up in Maine, and it gets cold up here, but fortunately it was kind of a warmer night. The low was probably around 30 or 40 degrees. So it wasn't like freezing cold. So she was gonna be able to survive. She wasn't gonna die. So I decided to leave her in the garage. Now the next step was to go and tell the old man. Now, you guys don't know this, but I usually don't take my dog out on a leash, like I said earlier in the video, but my dad always pesters me. He says, Henry, one of these times it's going to come back to bite you in the butt, and you just got to take the dog out on a leash. I know it's a little bit more extra work, but you got to take the dog out. And I'm like, Dad, whatever. It's never going to happen. The dog's never going to get sprayed, and that's just how it's going to be. I'm just going to try my luck, essentially. And he's like, whatever. It's not going to be my problem if she ends up getting sprayed. So now what's running through my head is my dad's usually the one that has to get the dog up in the morning, and I'm not bringing her inside the house, so he's not going to know where she is, and he doesn't want to be surprised by the smell of skunk on his dog, so I have to go and wake him up and tell him the dog has been sprayed. And keep in mind, it's 11 o'clock at night, and the old man is probably on his 60th dream by this point, so waking him up is not going to be the, nice walk in the park that I'm, hoping it would. So I walk into the bedroom, pitch black, I'm trying to feel my way around, I can barely see anything because it's dark in there, obviously. It's 11 o'clock at night, and they got the lights off. But I wake him up, and I tell him the dog's been sprayed, and you just see the look on his face. He's just like, So he comes downstairs. By this point, my mom's awake as well. My sister's still up. So the whole family's downstairs. The dog's in the garage, and the smell in the house is so strong. It's unbelievable. So surprisingly enough, and what ended up working out really well for me is my dad remained very, very calm, which I was like surprised about. I was expecting him to walk down those stairs and let me hear it, but he didn't do any of that. He just, kind of relaxed, took it all very seriously, stayed calm, and just address the situation like it needed to be addressed. And that was what surprised me the most. Honestly, that was probably the best thing that had happened to me that night, because I was fully expecting to get like the hammer. Like, not the band hammer from Vandahar, but I was expecting to get the hammer. But I didn't get any of that, and I was really, really happy and, feel very fortunate for that. So ultimately what ended up happening, to make a long story short, the dog slept out in the garage that night, and when we came home the next day, my sister and I actually had to stop at the drugstore on the way home from school. It was actually like a Pet Life, I believe is what it was. We had to get some skunk odor remover, and we had to use it multiple times all over her body, and it really wasn't like on her torso or anything like that. It was all in her face was where she was actually sprayed. So right now the snout, her nose just smells so bad, and I feel really, really bad for her, but we're gonna have to actually continue to apply some more coats of this skunk odor remover because it's not completely gone yet. But at this point, I'm pretty much just waiting for the smell to just air out of the house, because sleeping with a skunk smell is the worst thing ever. But anyways, guys, hopefully you all did enjoy this commentary. If you guys did, go ahead and smack that like button. Like I said earlier in the video, it really does help the channel grow. If you guys have a dog that's been sprayed by a skunk, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll definitely be interested to hear what you guys have to say. I find it amazing, years and years of evolution, that the dog still hasn't found out that when it fights a skunk, it's probably going to lose. Like Mother Nature, you should get on that, like kind of tell the dog to not go after the black and white striped thing, because it's not going to end well. If you guys are new to my channel as well, be sure to drop a sub. I bring you guys Call of Duty content pretty much every single day over here on my channel that you guys are not going to miss, and life stories and commentaries like this that you guys will hopefully enjoy as well. And if you guys did go ahead and watch this entire video, go ahead and comment down below #skunk. That'll let me know that you guys watched this entire video. And anyways, guys, thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, everybody, keep gaming, as always, stay cool. Adios.